Hello everyone, welcome back to Painting with Martin. This is the time for another how to play video, and we're here with a game called Battle of Hoth, actually Star Wars Battle of Hoth, published by Days of Wonder Games and designed by Richard Borg and Adrian Martint, or Martinot. Sorry for that if I mispronounced that. This is a 2 to 4 player game, and I have actually set it up right now for 2 players. If you want to play 4 players, you need a simple base copy of the same game to be able to play the 4 player scenarios. The goal of the game is for either the Rebel player or the Imperial player to meet certain objectives based on which scenario you're going to play. And the objectives is usually to destroy X number of units, and they will give you certain points, which are tracked on this scale here. Here for the Rebel player, because we have the Rebel side over here, and on the other side here you have the Imperial player and their scoring over here. That's the Imperial player. Now, since this is scenario based, I've chosen to set up this scenario for scenario number 2 as per the scenario book, but there are a bunch of other scenarios that show a bunch of other things as well. I've chosen scenario 2 because it shows you the vast number of options that you can have in the game. The only thing that is missing is the Rebel fortifications, the turrets. Yes, you can also see here, all the miniatures here are painted by me, and I have tutorials for all the miniatures in the game that shows you how to paint them if you want to do so. Now, the game comes unpainted, and it's important for me to mention that. So how does setup work? Well, setup works very simple. You choose your scenario booklet, which is actually over here, and you simply set it up according to the scenario. So in this case, scenario 2, I've chosen to put out these ridges as well as these crevices over here according to where they're supposed to be in the scenario book. And they also say exactly where your unit's supposed to go. So here we have the snowtroopers, the probe droids, and the Imperial walker over here. And over here on the Rebel side, we've got 3 squadrons of Rebel speeders, the snow speeders, Gold Squadron, Blue Squadron, and Red Squadron that I've painted in these colors to see fit for the general Star Wars lore and things like that. You also got a bunch of Echo base troopers over here, and they are pitted against each other. They also have a bunch of other things as well. You have the dice, and you also have a kind of like a help sheet here that are double-sided. Unfortunately, only one of them is present in the game. So I placed this one in the centerpiece as well. Of course, you also need the main board. And what you also need then is you need to draw your 16 out of your 16 Rebel cards and 16 Imperial cards, as over here. You need to put them out in a draw pile. I've chosen to sleeve the cards, they come unsleeved. And then you draw 4 cards based on the scenario. In this case, it says 4, and it may say something else for another scenario, but it says 4 cards each for both players. Now, this game also comes with leaders, and there is a 9-card leader deck, so you choose 1 leader, and include all the cards of that leader in your deck if you choose to play with that. However, both players need to agree on playing with leader. For this game, I've chosen not to show you the leaders, but it's simply the basic game. So after you've done this one, you simply draw 4 cards for this scenario 2 and put them out on these kind of like holders here. Now, they work perfectly with sleeved cards as well, and I've seen here also it also tells you which side actually starts. For scenario 2, the Rebel Alliance starts. So how does the beginning of the game go? So on your turn, you have simply 5 faces. You have play a command card from your hand face up. These are command cards. Then you choose to order your units. Then you move the ordered units. Then you attack. And then finally, you draw a new command card. Some cards will say you will draw 2 command cards, and you will simply say so on the card. So let's go through the steps right now. Play a command card. There are 2 kinds of command cards. There is the regular section cards, which looks like this. It actually shows a section here because the game map is divided into 3 sections. 1, 2, and 3. So it will simply say, in this case here, if I play this card, it means all units in section to the left, including those on the line, on the line here. So for example, if I choose this one here, I can choose this one, and this one, or choosing only these two. And that means, and then I play that card. I'll show you in a bit how that works. Or you can use a tactic cards. In this case, it says, order 2 vehicle units. These units can move 1 hex after having attacked. If you do not have if you do not command any vehicle units, order 1 unit of your choice. So that's a tactic card. It doesn't correspond to any section of the map. It will simply tell you what units you can use. So let's do this. Let's do an assault here. Okay, I play this card over here. I show my opponent the card I've chosen, and I then choose to simply order units. After I play the card, announce which corresponding units I choose to order. So in this case, I'm going to choose these two, this squadron. You move the entire squadron. And when it comes to these things, it's important to see how far can a unit move. In the case of the rebel speeders can move up between 0 to 3 hexes, and they can move onto crevice hexes. So it's important here, these are crevices. Normally, units cannot move on top of them, they're impassable terrain, but since these are flying units, they can. So we are going to move this one here, we're going to move, you can't move through your own units, 1, 2, and 3, moving up over here. And these ones over here, I'm going to put this one in my discard pile. We're going to move 1, 2, and 3 up to this one. Then now they have moved. After they have moved, you don't have to move them, by the way, and you can move them up to their movement hexes. You can also do a double move, which means that you move up to twice their movement speed, but then you don't get to attack. Very important. If this case now is they're going to attack, which means that you're looking at their unit. Now you have to see for the attack. First of all, a unit may only attack once per turn. You don't have to attack, just like you don't have to move. And you can't split its attack dice between different enemy targets. And the number of casualties a unit has suffered does not affect the number of attack dice it rolls when it's attacking. So even if you have a single miniature left, you still roll the full attack. An attack on an enemy unit in adjacent hex is called a close combat attack. So in the attack procedure, you will simply you will announce which the order unit you want to attack with and select its target. Then you will check the attack range, and you will check line of sight. In this case, I'm attacking with this one first and then this one afterwards. This one is going to attack these snow troopers over here, and they have a range of 1, 2. This one here will attack the snow troopers as well, and you will check line of sight. The ridge here blocks line of sight, so I can't attack these probe droids, but it can attack these ones because it follows along the line over here. There's a brief explanation of the line of sight in the rulebook as well. So what do you do these things? Now, for the rebel speeders, you have to check how many dice do I get. So in this case, the snow speeder attacks with 4 dice if you are in close combat. Otherwise, it attacks with 2 dice. So in this case, it attacks with 2 dice because they're 1, 2 away. And the same thing for these ones, 1, 2. So what do you do? You simply take these 2 dice over here, and you simply roll them in. In this case, I get a cross, or this one, whatever you want to call it, which is a miss. And then you get a blast, which is also known as a hit. So then you simply remove one of these figures and place them on the side over here. And if it's completely destroyed, you simply place this one on top of one of the medals over here. And this one means that you've scored 1 medal. For this scenario, you need to score a certain number of medals. Let me check how many medals you need to score for the scenario. And you simply need 4 medals for this one, for both players. That was that unit's attack. And now it's time for the second one, also 2 dice. In this case, it scores a hit of the infantry, which means they remove 1 more. In case I would wipe it out, of course, I would score it as a medal, but there are 2 other sides we need to consider. This one here, which means a retreat. That means the unit has to retreat 1 space backwards. If they cannot retreat, which means they're in the end of the line, they take 1 casualty for as many symbols as they have on the dice. So if it were 2 retreats instead over here and it was like this, it would be wiped out. Then we also got this one here, which targets vehicle units. Vehicle units in this case would be probe droids, as well as AT-AT walkers. So Imperial probe droids, however, has a special one. They are only hit on the blast icon, which are these ones. Now, important, AT-ATs, the big ones, can only be, well, if they're hit, they need to confirm the hit. That means the AT-AT is eliminated if at least 1 blast is rolled on the confirmation roll. And there are other things as well. Now, after I moved and after I attacked, that means, what do I do next? What do I do next? And that means I have performed my attack, and I've checked the range, I've done the line of sight, I've done the terrain modifiers. If they would have been on top of this ridge, for example, the defender, that means they get a certain advantage. So if they get they're on top of ridge, that means the number of attack dice is reduced by 1. Okay, even if it's a close attack. So next thing you do is you go back here and you draw 1 more command card, which is like this. That means the rebel turn is over, and it goes back over to the Imperial player. Now I'm going to go around the board and go right like this and see what the Imperial player is doing. Same thing there. What will he do? He has 4 command cards, and he's going to choose to play a tactic card. This is called Direct from HQ. Order 3 units of your choice. He shows the card, and he selects 3 units. So what will he do? So, well, the first thing he will do is he can be from anywhere on the board. It's not regulated, or he's not really limited by any section of the map. He just orders 3 of his choice, or her choice. He's going to order the AT-AT, and the AT-AT can only move 1 hex. He can't move on top of ridges, and he can't move into these crevices. But he can go like this. Then he's going to choose to remain here on the ridges because of defensive elements, and then he's simply going to move these probe droids up here, and this snowtrooper up here to give it some defensive bonuses. Then afterwards he's going to attack. Now the probe droids are now obviously I can only activate the units that I've actually activated. So these ones can't be activated and used to be attacking with. So what do we do next? So he's going to simply look at the number of dice, which can be found over here in the rulebook in the appendix. So for example, the snowtrooper gets a close attack. That's what I want to show you here. He gets a close attack of 3 attack dice on these speeders. If there was a speeder, say for example over here, he can't see them because you can't trace line of sight through other units. He gets 3 attack dice. So let's go for this one. Ooh, that's really, really good. So that means in this case, just by chance, vehicle dice and blast dice, 3 of them are wiped out, which means he wipes out the entire blue squadron. Bye bye blue squadron, rebel down. And he places one of them over here, means he's 1 step closer to victory. A bad stroke of luck for the rebel player, who is down already 1 blue squadron. However, he still has the gold squadron, which I painted over here, and the red squadron, rogue squadron, still facing the AT-AT walkers. Now, he's done with this attack, and what about the probe droids? Now, the probe droids, can they attack these rogue squadron? Well, they have attack range of 2, which means that he can attack anything here and here. However, he cannot attack over here because he doesn't have range. But what about these ones? Well, the thing is, since the ridge line here, it blocks line of sight. So you can't trace line of sight over here, and even if you could, they are out of range. So unfortunately, the snowtroopers were so good that they actually destroyed the entire rebel attack there, and the probe droids move was kind of useless. Now, when I've done this simply means that this one goes to the discard pile, which I've placed over here. and I simply draw a new command card, moving up over here, and play continues like this until someone has wiped out enough units to score 4 medals, in this case 1, 2, 3 and 4. This was a quick overview of the game called Star Wars Battle of Hoth by Days of Wonder Games. Now, if you like these kind of like short reviews and watch actually short playthroughs and how to play, please subscribe to my channel. If you want to learn how to paint these miniatures, there are painting tutorials, as I said in the beginning, of all these figures, including the snowtroopers, as I'm zooming in here for you guys, as well as the AT-ATs. I'm going to show you up here what it looks like. Very iconic, and they look. I try to get them as close to the movies and, of course, the card art as possible. Now, this is a fairly quick game, even though it has some text on the cards. This is recommended from 8 years and up, but you still need a command of English to be able to read on the cards. It helps to also play these scenarios in turn order, but you don't have to. You can select anything you want. And if you want to select the campaign, there are campaign cards for the campaign located in the box as well. If I'm going to look at the box, this is what the box looks inside. It has 2 storage units that fits both players, the Imperial player like this and the Rebel player like this. It also fits sleeved cards really comfortably, and it also has like some trays for counters here, like the terrain cards, as well as some other tokens that I haven't covered in this particular scenario, but it will say so in the scenario book how they use them and when they use them. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you learned something today. Maybe you would even like to play Star Wars Battle of Hoth after this tutorial. And if you feel that I missed something, or you feel like I didn't explain something properly, please comment me, let me know in the comments so I can improve until I shoot my next video next time. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day. And I apologize also for the possible noise that I have, because I am right next to the road, and also I have a dog that really likes to go sleeping now as well. So thank you very much to that dog. Thank you very much for watching.